Okay, so I have removed a bunch of wiring from underneath the hood, and now we're traced the inside, trying to, like, it was such a mess that I wound up just removing pretty much any wire that ran to the battery that wasn't factory. I've disconnected it, cut it out, and just got to start over, like, because it was going to take forever to trace stuff down, and I'd already removed some stuff that was on the that ran to the battery, so there was some stuff that was just there. But this little toggle switch right here is the heaters. The propane has a heater to convert it from liquid to a gas, and that wire shorted out right here. The last week when I went to move it, I was pulling it out of the shop, and all of a sudden smoke from out from under the dash, and I about crapped myself because I didn't know what had just happened. All I know is there was a whole bunch of smoke coming out, and there we are. What is that? Some sort of little switch there. I don't know what that does. But all the stuff was, and this switch here was for the underglows, I believe, and then this one was for the light bar that was on it. So like I said, I've had to drop this so I can see what's what in here, because there was a whole bunch of wiring out there that was just craziness. I wasn't sure what went to what. That one's been removed. And handy dandy Phillips. Like these Samurais, which I'd seen videos on YouTube where people are talking like, man, Samurais have, like Suzuki, when they made these things, they put factory grounds everywhere. Just like that right there, like those are factory grounds. Just boom, right there like that. This stuff's all going to be on rockers that I showed that I've got wires that's going to go. Yep, that's exactly what I thought it was. Okay. So this switch, the wiring for this thing was, they used so much wire for it that they literally had it wrapped around the factory harness out there. Like, I don't even know why they did. That's out of the way. Where does this go? I'll tell you what, I'm loving this light. This little light bar. I found it on, I can't remember, I think it was Temu also. Like, this thing is really nice. It's got a tripod, and it's this really wide LED light. Not sure where that goes. I need to get an actual flashlight. So that goes up. Okay, that wire goes to the ARB stuff, so that stays. That is perfectly fine. That is in there right. That'll live right where it is. I do like that splice thing right there. I do believe I will get some more of that. I'm not sure if I'd ever seen that before, but I like the way they did it. And that wiring there is so dang long that it's like, why do that? So this is a prime example of stuff like, instead of cutting that wire down, like the switch was right there, they've got an extra 2 foot of wire on it that they don't need, or at least a foot. This is, again, this is for the propane system. So I'm going to be, and then, so they extended it, like all that wire, and then they extended it to put that on there. Like this little bit right here, like the wiring on this thing, whole thing is like that right there. Like it just, yeah, I don't know, it just blows my mind the way things were ran. But I think we got another switch. I may just reuse this one, I'm not sure. But yeah, this one is going to be, going to move that wire back up to here, so it'll be right. And for my new switches and lights that I'm going to run, I'm going to pick up a power wire over here from the fuse box and run over, so that way everything is wired like it should be. I probably should do that with this instead of hooking it straight to the battery and having it on toggle. I may want it doing that. Sorry, my big head's probably just blocking the camera. But yeah, this is the joys of cleaning up stuff that other people have done. Like, here's a bunch of speaker wire that's not used anymore. I think that was a hot wire there too, which I could pick that up. That could factory wires for the radio, I think. But yeah, this is the fun parts of a project that has been built for a long time and by a couple different people. But hey, this thing, luckily the factory wiring is not all jacked up. Like that wiring that I just pulled out, there was wiring that was wrapped around this, like that red and green wire that I just pulled out from the dash. It was so long that it was wrapped around that factory wiring harness right there. Like there was like 2 foot of it wrapped around that. Let me get those pulled in, or pulled out. So yeah, there's all that. A whole bunch of extra wiring that I'm not sure what went to. Like this went to the light bar. It was on here. Remove all that. And then, like, I was just looking at this, and they've wired in a relay that connects here. Looks like that wire went straight to the factory, went to the starter, but for some reason they've wired in a relay to it. It's grounded. They had a hot wire coming straight off of the battery to it, and I don't know, maybe it lost power from the, it could have been a situation where it lost power from the key to activate the solenoid, so that could be why that's there like that. I can hook the battery back up and see what it'll do without wire going to it, without that wired up like that. See if it'll work or not. But it's one of those things you don't know until you try. More wiring that's not. So yeah, so we got a whole bunch, cleaned up some of the wiring out here. Here's some other stuff that I plan on cleaning up, like this. For some reason, when the factory turn signals were in the bumper. Well, so when factory bumper went away, put in these trailer lights right here. They work great. They're LEDs. I've had the grill out and I redid them because they were zip tied in, which they still are now. But the thing is, they had them ran through and you could see them, and they were white, and it wasn't pretty at all. So I took the grill out because I had found an Angry grill, like the Angry grills for the Jeeps. Ordered it. It came from India, and there's no mounting. There's no way to mount it. I'd have to play with it. Like, it doesn't quite fit the grill shell. I don't know if this grill shell is tweaked, because it is a little tighter right here than it is on the other side. So there's a good chance that the front end is a little tweaked on this thing. It didn't fit in there real well. There was no way to mount it. And so the factory grill has these little tabs right here that go into the fender, holes in the fender right there. And like those didn't line up, which these obviously don't look like these do either. So there's a good chance this is pushed down right here. Actually looking at it, I think that's exactly what it is. I bet somebody stepped on it or something. Working on it, climbed up on it, stepped on it. Might take the grill out of it and use a port of power, push up, or just something with some leverage. But yeah, back to what I was saying. Squirrel. So when they wired that in, the factory wire is right there, but they just cut the end off, the factory end off of it, and then wired into it. So it's like an extra foot of wire right there, just to go. Like the wiring could perfectly go just right there. So, and it unplugs from the back there, so it's really unnecessary. But I may cut it off right here, just so that way we have retained the factory plug right there. But still, that's ridiculousness. And it's like that on both sides. I just cut out a whole bunch of wiring. Like pretty much all the extra wiring that was out here, I just cut out, because such a mess. Here it looks like they've done some hinky wiring too. But I kind of need to, I don't know why they did that. I kind of need to pull, I do need to pull the dash out. I need to pull the dash out because the heater core is leaking, and that box right there is the heater. Like that whole thing right there is the heater. So I need to pull it out. The last time I went riding, my wife was like, "Why is my leg wet?" I was like, "We just went through water." She's like, "No, it's the one that's my leg that's toward the transmission." And I looked, and it was antifreeze. It was green. Luckily, she didn't get burned. She was okay, and we rode all day, and it wasn't an issue. But might as well get it fixed, because I do want the heater to work. Because, like I said, I've got the factory doors and a full top for it, so we want it to be able to hold heat, because we want to ride in the winter. Like, who doesn't like to ride when it's cold, especially when you got a heater? So yeah, my cousins that are laughing at me for having the Samurai when I've got the whole top on it and we're cruising around and I'm warm and they're freezing to death in their damn razors, I'll be laughing at them. So, but that'll probably be it for right now, or at least I might cut off for a little bit, because I've still got to do some figuring out of what I'm going to do. So I'm probably gonna do like they did right here, so that I can pick up a power keyed source for my accessories that I'm gonna add on that new rocker panel that I've showed. I'm really excited about that, and when I drop this all this out of the way, I can get to that heater box, get that out, and then I've also got a new whole thing right here that the sprayers, like the windshield wipers work, everything, and the sprayer pump works. Like you can tell water's moving in it in this hose right here, but it doesn't spray out. So I got on eBay, ordered a new one of those, but you got to be able to get to all the wiper stuff is in this part of the windshield. And I've seen Highway 83, I think it is, big Suzuki YouTube channel. He has some really good videos on things to do, how to do stuff on these. Like he's got a video on how to remove the top out, or the dash out of he's got how to remove the dash for a hard top, what they call a tin top, or the convertibles like this, where you can remove the windshield. And I think he's got a video to where you can convert this to where you can fold the windshield down like a Jeep, like one of the old Jeeps. But so yeah, I need to get this out from the videos that I've seen of his. It's not hard to get these out. I am interested in see how this is going to come out with the roll cage though, because the the Samurais that he used as an example did not have a roll bar like that in it, so it might be more interesting. And I've also got, I'm going to take this out. I'm going to take the gauge cluster out because I was watching, so the tack works. Luckily this is one that does have a tack in it and it does work, but these other gauges does not. The speedometer doesn't work, which it would have been way off anyway because of the gear ratio and then the size of the tires. I have to come to find out the temperature gauge comes up, but it doesn't actually function, I don't believe. And so I'm going to pull the speedometer out, and I have bought where is it? I've got so much stuff that I bought for this thing. Amazon, I found these, and so I'm going to pull the speedometer out and take a piece of sheet metal and make it round and try to fit all three of those, which since I'm looking at it, I don't think all three of those are going to fit in there, at least not with this cover on. I may want to do something different with that. So I was wanting to retain that because the lights here in the dash do work, like when you turn the four-wheel drive on, come on. I need to drop this because I've got a new multifunction switch for the headlights and the blinkers, because the headlight and the turn signal switch doesn't really work very well. You got to monkey with that actually should be here today, but we'll see. I probably won't record anymore underneath trying to do that, because that was kind of a pain in the butt to do. Unless I strap the camera to my head, and then I don't even know if you'll be able to see very well that way. But we will. I really need to get this thing wrapped up, get a lot of stuff done on this, and I've kind of stepped into a deep hole here with all this wiring. I'll get it done and make it right and clean. That's like I said in the one video, that's my thing, is I really hate messing with wiring, but then I can make stuff work, and I can make it to where it looks presentable and nice and clean. So like we'll tuck stuff in, and I've also watched videos to where you can remove wiring when you're not using the factory carburetor like this one. There's a lot of wiring that you don't need anymore, like this temperature thing right here, which that right there that's probably, I don't know if that or that is the, I think that right there is probably the temperature gauge, which it was plugged in and I pulled it off. Oh, it's broken. That could be why it's not quite working right. But either way, I'm going to pull that out and pull this out. These are wiring for the factory carburetor. The factory carburetor, the videos I've seen used it had a whole bunch of wires going to it, and so there's a lot of stuff that isn't needed anymore when you're not running the factory carburetor, which obviously this isn't. Man, this right here, if you've got a Samurai, this is well worth the investment. The gentleman that I bought it from said it was almost $2,000 for the kit, but it is a complete kit. So yeah, I've got to pull all that off. I've got some cracked vacuum lines that I need to plug off, and I've got that new temperature, a mechanical temperature sending unit and stuff that I'm going to put that gauge in. I'm going to put that in here and plug off some of these other things. Like this is not needed. I did not do that. I want you to know that. That was like that. I'm going to pull that out, put a plug in that, just clean up a bunch of wiring. The YouTube videos I was watching, they said that all you need when you're not running the factory carburetor is this set of wires going here and that wire there. And the rest of this stuff going over here is all useless. So we'll see. That'll probably be it for this video for right now. We'll probably pick it up in another part to where probably after I've gotten it done, because so much stuff going on. At least with this part, like I said, I will be pulling the dash out. I'll do a video of that. and hopefully it won't be horrible. But thanks for watching.